I admit it, I couldn't pass it up. I couldn't. Right? I'm working, and it's like I'm watching some videos, having lunch. It's like, oh, God, what did I run into here? Someone named the Liberal Redneck, Joe Lee 3. And he's going to be surprised to find out that I actually agree with him. He's talking about the Equal Rights Amendment. Give women equality is what the title shouts. You see, Liberal Redneck, I want to pass it, but for different reasons, maybe, than you. But go on and tell us all about it.
LR, the Liberal Redneck here. Coming to you from a country having a difficult time agreeing that women should have the same rights as men.
You know, Joe, or Liberal, whatever your name is, it would really be interesting for the listener, for me, because, you know, I'm kind of a dumb, stump-jumping hick drinking my six-pack of beer. Maybe you can help me understand, Liberal Redneck, if you could point out exactly what rights women do not have under the law compared to men. It'd be interesting to see which rights I have as a male and you that women don't have under the law. Wouldn't it be interesting if you could just explain that? You know, maybe we could get on your side a little more. We could say, you know what, Liberal Redneck is right. Here are these rights that women don't have, men do. We got to fix it. But you never do, liberal. People like you, your ilk. You know why that is, Bueller? Because there are no rights men have that women don't. Under the law. I know, it's crazy.
This is a sad statement about our society.
Yeah. The sad statement about our society, Liberal Redneck, is there are people like you who actually believe women are denied rights in the United States in 2021. And to fix this, we need to pass the Equal Rights Amendment. So what rights would women have then, Liberal Redneck, if we pass the ERA? Which ones would come flooding in? Which ones? Nah, I'm not going to talk about that, are we?
Why is this even an issue?
That's a very good question, isn't it, Liberal Redneck?
My guess it's the same reasons women are fighting to get equal pay for equal work.
I swear to God they have a chip implanted in their head. And they come up with the same bullshit every single stinking time. It is a shame, Liberal Redneck, that you're this brain dead. I don't know what to tell you.
That would be misogyny, subjugation, and racism.
Women are subjugated in the United States. Maybe you're thinking of a different place, Joe. It's not the United States, my friend.
It is way past time to acknowledge that women are equal human beings and not some lesser form of humanity.
Liberal, are you projecting here? Because nobody I know, nobody has ever said to me, you know what, women are lesser human beings than men. But of course, nobody believes that. Why do you say people believe that? Are you projecting a little bit here?
The falsely, in my opinion, revered founding fathers could not conceive of a world where women were allowed to vote on the issues that affect their lives every bit as much as men.
You know, I don't think black people had the right to vote. Back when the country was founded, black people were slaves. They didn't have a right to vote. I'm pretty sure people who didn't own property also didn't have the right to vote. So, I guess they forgot about those people too, right? No. See, here's the deal, hamster. All men, black, white, green, purple, Chinese, whatever, all men had the right to vote. Women, get back in the kitchen. Make me a sandwich. Right. And how many years ago was that? Oh, that's 250. Yeah, okay.
Women fought and died for that basic right and finally won.
You know, men fought and died without having the right to vote. Oh, you didn't know that. Now, Liberal Redneck, you look about the age of someone who may have served in Vietnam. I don't know what your age is, but I think you're older than I am. Did you know, Liberal Redneck, that men who were drafted into war, fought and died for this country, they didn't have a right to vote if they were under 21? Didn't know that, huh? World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. 18-year-old men were drafted, and they did not have the right to vote, and thus we had the amendment in the early 70s that lowered the voting age to 18. See how that works? See? Yeah, there were issues on both sides of the aisle. The one thing women never had to do to get that vote, though, or to vote, is to sign up for the draft. Oh, that's men's work? Ah, got it.
Previously, it was unheard of for a woman to have credit in her own name.
That was the 1960s and 1970s. Be 50, 60 years ago. You know, are we ever going to get over what happened sometime in the past? I would think a more important thing was 1978, when the laws were passed that forbid discrimination against women who are pregnant. I think that's a big one. That's a really big one. Before that, women could be discriminated against, and that's absolutely 100% wrong. But again, Joe, 40-some years ago, are we ever going to get over the past here? Why don't we talk about today? It's pretty damn good. No, it's not. No, women are subjugated. I keep forgetting.
That indignity has also finally been resolved, but not without a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Legislation was introduced via the Equal Rights Amendment in 1972.
Actually, 1923, but you'll get there. You know, it was also introduced several times in the legislature and the Congress. Back in the 1940s, the same kind of thing. Thou shalt not discriminate based upon sex, except liberal. There was something included in the amendment called the Hayden Rider. And the Hayden Rider would have done this. Any special privileges or laws in favor of women, giving them something over men, would remain in effect, and Congress could not change those laws. And I think Congress couldn't pass any laws. And then the senators looked around and said, I'm kind of digging this Equal Rights Amendment. Yeah, I think it's about time. However, what's the point of the Equal Rights Amendment if there's a Hayden Rider attached that says all the special goodies women have stay? That's not equality. That's why it didn't pass. And that's why it eventually became the Equal Pay Act of 1963, which, of course, you obviously don't know about.
To give women the same rights as men.
Aha.
That was almost 50 years ago.
Yeah, certainly was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And 98 years after the first women introduced the concept in 1923.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes.
It has finally been ratified by the necessary number of states, but has yet to become a recognized part of the Constitution due to poor wording that put a time limit on ratification and revocations by 5 states that had previously voted to ratify.
So you're saying then it doesn't have the required number of states? I mean, the point's moot, isn't it, Joe? The deadline was 1982. It didn't pass with the required number of states. It's dead. It's gone. Bye-bye. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg said the same thing. No, you can't go back to 1982. No. Just draft another one and run it through the process and pass it. I don't know why the Democrats would be opposed to running it through the state legislatures once again. After all, we're all woke now, aren't we? It should pass in a matter of months. I wonder why the Democrats really don't want to do that. Do you have any idea, liberal?
This is shameful. The ERA is not a complicated amendment.
No, it's pretty simple. But you need to run it through the process again. As a matter of fact, you know what, liberal? I agree with you. Screw it. Just pass it, put it in the Constitution. As soon as humanly possible. And then the women who are bitching about not having the same rights as men will understand the rights that they do have over men when those said rights are taken away. No Hayden Rider in this one, liberal. Not in this one.
It is designed to guarantee equal rights for all American citizens regardless of sex.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and again, if you would just point out which rights women don't have, that would help the person listening to pay more attention. Are you trying to get people on your side, Joe? Are you? Are you saying, look, this is the things with women? No, because we all know what the answer is, don't we? Yes.
It seeks to end the legal distinctions between men and women in matters of divorce, property, employment, and other matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would remove female-only scholarships. It would remove affirmative action. It would remove, to some degree, reproductive rights. Men might actually have a say in the whole thing, or just they can financially draft all the special things women currently enjoy in this oppressed society potentially could be removed. So in other words, Joe, the Equal Rights Amendment might actually harm women more than it helps them. Oh, you haven't considered that? No, why would you? Because you're brainwashed.
Women are not asking for anything outrageous.
Actually, There's even some feminist groups that are against the ERA for this very reason. But go on, sir.
They just want basic human rights the same as men already have.
Again, point out the ones women don't have. We'd all like to know.
They also want the same pay for men for the same job.
I'm not even going to explain it. I'm just going to get the goat.
Right now, women make 82 cents for every dollar a man makes, primarily because they make less money for doing the same job.
Goat, please.
Enter the evil triumvirate mentioned earlier: misogyny, subjugation, and racism.
Oh, God.
These are not acceptable in any form.
No, I agree. Totally. I'm on your side. A good thing it's not really happening at the level you say it is. It's actually quite a minor problem that we can manage.
But women deal with them on a daily basis.
Yeah. Sure. Right.
The ERA is not a panacea to correct all these injustices.
How is the Equal Rights Amendment going to stop a guy on the street from catcalling a woman? Because that's really what they're bitching about, liberal. Oh, I can't walk down the street and some guy's wolf-whistling me. Well, what do you expect the Equal Rights Amendment to do about that? I mean, we're talking very, very minor first world problems here, and the Equal Rights Amendment won't do shit. It will actually harm women. Dumbass.
But it is a long overdue start.
Is it? Well, we'd like to know what it would fix, Liberal Redneck. Of course, you're never going to tell us that because we all know what the answer is: nothing. I will put the link below, and you can feel free to, kindly share your opinions on the Equal Rights Amendment with Liberal Redneck. I'm sure his heart is in the right place. It's his brain that's a little misadjusted. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.